Awesome. So today is day 4 of our sugar detox challenge. So there's couple more weeks to go, but how is everyone feeling? How about you, Shelly, Jamie, Yashika? Like how are you feeling? Like what's going on?
Drop some wins and drop some roadblocks. Let us know.
I'm feeling pretty good. Was on a diet that Naz had given before, so there really wasn't a whole lot of sugar in it to start with. So it's been going pretty good for me. My biggest thing is usually in the evening my treat is a diet soda, but now I'm drinking club soda. So.
Mine's is just I can't drink my coffee without sugar and cream, so I just cut the coffee completely. So now it's like midday for me, and I'm like sluggish a little bit, like a little tired. But I got this seltzer water type thing to kind of, it got flavor, not the best, but it's kind of helping me get through the day. But that's about it for me. And trying to eat more because I don't really, Jay, that's my problem, not eating enough. So I'm just trying to make sure I incorporate more food. So I have a salad and a piece of salmon waiting for me. So that's what for me.
Yeah, preparation is definitely key, and making sure that you're keeping your stomach full will keep you from wanting to kind of grab everything that's in front of us. And that's why batch cooking is so important, right? If you have an opportunity to choose like an hour a day to kind of figure out like what are some things that are your go-to, like a whole bunch of chicken, whole bunch of veggies, like roasted veggies, so that you can kind of have everything like ready, set, and go. Because I always find that like when I'm hungry, like, I'll eat anything that's in front of me. So.
Yes, exactly. And to also keep your metabolism moving, if you keep too much gaps in between, you're going to keep your insulin really low, your sugar really low. And then when you go and attack on the food, it's just going to spike up, and then it's going to give you another signal to eat some more, especially if that's in the evening. A lot of times it's in the evening. So try maybe have like little snacks here and there, healthy snacks, of course. If you need any, if you guys have any requests for recipes, I know I said yesterday I was going to send that to you. I'm just getting, my VA is going to get that one today, and then I will send that to you guys. If you have any questions on the recipe book, if you're Jamie, like Jamie is gluten intolerant, or if you dairy or anything like that, like me and Jeannie can easily put something together for you. Mm-hmm. Awesome. Okay, I'm doing great for the most part. I do get tired by the end of the day, although I did have headaches a couple days ago, drinking lots of tea and lemon water. Nice. That's awesome, Jamie. Well, not the headaches. The headaches are not awesome. Okay. I guess we can start. I'm going to share the screen, and you guys just give me a big thumbs up if you can see it. You guys see it? Oh, awesome. Okay, perfect. I'm just going to move this one. Like when you're presenting and everything else gets messed up. Perfect timing. Okay. Thank you, everyone, for being here. So today is the second workshop, and we are going to talk about Replenish and Nourish. So 2 days ago, Jeannie has shared with us, what are the things that, we need to be aware of, those funny names that you can see in the labels of the packages. And she shared so many other things. So that's what you need to like put away. And she also shared like food swaps. So today we're going to go through how now we're going to replenish our body. What is good for us, and also what are the vitamins and minerals that we need every day, and also some food swaps. And also we're going to talk about coffee, gut health, and more. Okay, so first things first is mindful eating. So before we get into eating foods that will transform our lifestyle, learning how to eat and understanding the cues your body is giving you is key to optimal results for your overall wellness. Like we all know that. But today, eating, unfortunately, becomes really mindless. We're too busy with work. We're so stressed. Our calendars are fully booked, and there is no real attention paid to eating mindfully. If you know me, and I think, yes, Shelly and Jamie, and also we ate together before, and you know how slow I eat. Like I'm like the slowest eater ever. So when you eat mindfully, you are not only easing your digestion process, but you're also being grateful. And the best part, feeling completely satisfied by knowing when you are full. So here, there's so many ways you can eat mindfully, but these are just like the main keys. So here, I will share with you some tips on how to eat mindfully. You can start practicing this from today. So number one is eliminate distractions. So it is easy to get distracted when you are on your phone, you're on your TV, you're watching TV, or even reading a book, or you're checking your emails. When you have your phone or your TV or anything on, your brain now is divided. It's dividing its attention. So now you are 50%. Actually, that's live. A lot of people would put 80-90% on the phone and then very less on the food. It's like, have you ever had, like, you're on the phone and you're talking to someone and you're trying to eat, and then right when you put the phone down, you're like, what? I'm done eating? Okay, I gotta go. But it takes about 20 minutes for your brain to register that you're full. So then when you're on your phone, so you're doubling that now. So you're on your phone, you're checking your phone, you're checking your emails, you're eating at your, on your desk. And then you ate like in 10, 12, 15 minutes and you're like, oh, I'm still hungry. So you're going to go back and you're going to go and put some more food in your plate. And then by the time you finish that, 20 minutes has passed. And then your brain is like, oh, whoops, we are full, actually. Sorry. Too late to tell you, but you overate. You just overate. So you have to just try and like all the distractions. It's just you and the food. And I know sometimes that's really hard to do. So you can just do step by steps. And you're going to say, from today, for this week, breakfast, no distraction. The next time you can do the snack. The next time, work from top to bottom, because suppers are harder. That's what I've noticed. Next one is take your time. So enjoy the meal. If you're a busy person, make sure you allocate 30 to 45 minutes to have your lunch. Or if you have lesser time for that, then find food that is easier to digest. And then make sure you chew thoroughly as well. Next one is gratitude. So be grateful of the food that is in front of you. Understand how it makes you feel and how much work was put into it. Maybe somebody made it. The farmers. Well, I was a farmer for Halloween party today. So understand where it's coming from. Appreciate who made it. Or if you made it, like, hey, I made this meal. Enjoy it and like have that relationship with that food. Another one is journaling. So I know a lot of people are not doing this, but it is actually a really huge tool. It's the best way for you to unknot all of these things that is in your head. And then one day you'll be, oh, I don't feel good. I don't know which food is making me feel like this. And so when you journal it, at this time, oh, when I have, okay, let's say when I have dairy at around, after lunch, in the afternoon, I feel kind of tired. I feel like really down. That's what milk does. And if you have milk, example, it calms your body down. It's like, yeah. So if then later when you write that down, you're like, oh, it's every time when I have this meal. It's every time when I have this. You'll start finding out that for yourself. So if you haven't downloaded the workbook that we've shared a couple of days ago, it's in that workbook. You can use that and start journaling your mood, how you feel, how does it make you feel? Did it make you feel bloated? So you can find out what are those foods are when you go through the journaling. And then there's eat at the dining table. So train yourself to eat at the dining table. So not on the couch, not on the desk, not anywhere else. Eat where you're supposed to eat. This way, your body and your brain understands that the food is available in the dining table, not anywhere else. This will lead you to visit or not visit the naughty cabinet anymore. We used to have the naughty cabinet. Now we don't have a naughty cabinet anymore because we don't need it. And, when you're on vacation, once a week you can have, like when you're done with this challenge, you can have like your popcorn and on the couch and all that. But try and limit that and have it on the desk. Even if if you're having a snack, if it's snack time, I know it's hard when we're working. You want to work and eat at the same time, but try something different. Like grab your snack, and it's starting to get cooler here. So then I'll grab my snack and go by my pool, put my feet in the pool, or I'll go and sit outside, get some vitamin D. That way I'm getting vitamin D. I am spending time alone with myself, and then I am enjoying the meal. Like after I have my snack, I'm like, whoa, I'm like fully satisfied. Like I'm happy, because I didn't divide any attention. I'm not even reading anything. And I spent 10, 15 minutes myself. Okay, so building your plate, the integrative nutrition plate. So integrative nutrition plate is the best guide out there because it just makes sense. I just believe it makes sense. This is published by Joshua Rosenfeld, who is the founder of the largest nutrition school in the world, IIN. This is also where I got my certification as a health coach. So the importance of primary food, healing nutrition beyond your plate. These are your relationships, physical activity, spirituality, career, but also your home environment, your home cooking, your gut health, and more. These are all considered as food because you're putting it in your body. That's still food. So why heal the nutrition beyond your plate? I will relay this to cravings. So when you are not healing the nutrition that is beyond your plate, like your sleep, your stress levels, your self-care, especially your self-care, and all of the other important factors in your life, your brain will get confused and will start sending signals to your very hungry hormone, which is called your ghrelin hormone, to feed body into your nutrient, feed your body with nutrients. But your body and your emotions are also confused. Everything in your system is now confused because they're all like, I need support here in sleep, but I need, support in stress level as well. I need support with self-care. They're all like jumbled up in there. So tend to look for quick solutions. Again, going back to the naughty cabinet or trying to get something quick. I used to have that a few years ago where I go straight to the cabinet filled with processed sugar, food for a quick fix. So if you don't get enough sleep, a lot of times you go for a few cups of coffee or sugary food like pastry, chocolates, or candies for temporary solutions, which normally last a few minutes because you will start feeling guilty, and it's like a quick shoot up and then it goes back down really quick. So how to heal the nutrition that is beyond your plate. And Jeannie will explain all of this as well next week. So I'm going to just give you a little bit of it. So on the workbook that we have provided, use the journal part of logging in your food, and use the journaling prompts that we've put together there for you. You will find a pattern. Again, like what I mentioned earlier, you will find a pattern, what makes you feel good and what doesn't. And, track your sleep as well. Track your sleep every day with your food. Okay. And then dust your journal or start a new journal for your new goals, right? When you write it down, you see it better. You are more aware of what's going on. Because if you keep it there in your head, it's just all messy, right? Like it's just all messy because we have so many things in our head, like our fears, our goals, our desires, our limiting beliefs, all of that are. And so write that down and say, hey, look, I'm not feeling good. I'm not feeling good today. What happened yesterday? Okay, I did not get enough sleep. What's my next step? Tonight, I'm going to make sure I get 8 hours of sleep so I can make better decisions for my health tomorrow, the next day. So that's your primary food. Now inside is your secondary food, which is your fruits, your vegetables, your whole grains, protein, and then you'll see like a bigger size than what the USDA would give you or any other like plates around the world will give you like huge like water and then fats and oil. So that doesn't mean that you actually drink the fats and oil. You can use it for cooking or whatever. But I'll give you a good example how to create a plate. The first thing you go for when putting your plate is the vegetables. Put that one first. If you're having, let's say, sauteed chicken with, bell peppers and, broccoli and all of that, and then have something extra on top of that, have like a nice salad on the side that you love. I love fruity salad. So I would have I would call it the fantasy salad because I'd put like blueberries and strawberries and feta cheese and all of that. So I just call it a fantasy one. And then what you would add there afterwards, you'll add a little bit of fruits. You don't have to put it on your plate. You can keep it on the side and have that after you eat. So then you're telling your brain, oh, it's dessert time. We're going to have a grapefruit or we're going to have, a fruit salad. And then you can have your protein and then your whole grains. I'll dig into that a little bit on the next ones. Okay. The art of meal prepping. Jeannie was talking about that today, which was super helpful. And she has mentioned how much, how important that is and how it helps her, set the tone for her week. And I think you mentioned lentil soup. I love lentil soup. Okay. So this tool is so important in your success to completely eliminate not just sugar, but all processed foods. So when you plan for your success, you will have success. It's just how it is. When you don't plan, you tend to fall off track. And it happens every time. So being organized is very important, not just during this challenge, but throughout your life. Carry this like forever. If you don't have time for your health now, you will need to spare some time for possible disease in the future or even regrets. That's just the blunt truth. So again, grab your journal and plan out your weekly meals. See what you can prepare now. Maybe if you batch cook on Sunday, then you want to cook something else on Tuesday for the rest of the week. You can start cutting up the vegetables and start storing them, or you can cook a big batch of stew, for example. I love putting them in the freezers when they're stew because they just taste a little bit better when like after a few days, and store it in the freezer with BPA free, freezer friendly food containers, not just whatever container, because you don't want all of those chemicals from that container going into your food. And you can have that for like the week after. So you're all set. You can cook now, you can put that in the freezer and it's like, hey, I want to have this one next week. So make your meals fun Example is good, a good example that we do here. We make chili. So because I love Mexican food, and for lunch, then I'll cook a big batch. Then I'll freeze the rest, but I'll leave a little bit for breakfast as a side. And then later for lunch with quinoa or brown rice. But there's so many ways you could do it, and you can turn it into your own burrito at the end, like later. There's so many ways you can make it fun and sustainable. And then you also reduce processed foods when you do meal planning. Okay, so quick benefits of meal planning is it saves time, saves money, variety, and sticking to healthier options because you have it ready. You're not going to go into your pantry and grab something that, it's a no-no for you. Less waste, weight management, and improved planning skills. So these are just some of it, right? And then you can also tame overeating. Okay, so foods you need to focus on these foods instead. So carbohydrates. Eat food close to nature as possible. There are two types of carbohydrates. There's the simple carbohydrate, and then there's the complex carbohydrate. So simple carbohydrates are that of like they have monosaccharides. So those are carbs that consist of one sugar unit. So these are the simplest form of sugar, the simple sugar, and this is glucose. And these saccharides consist of two sugar units. Okay, I'm saying this and I'm already bored. But anyway, it is like the carbs that are fast burning carbs, and energy doesn't really last very long. Tastes good, maybe a little bit, but it's not the best choice for you. So these foods are not recommended in higher doses because they are a quick source of energy, and which a lot of times include processed sugar. So this is your white bread, mac and cheese, Kraft Dinner, pastries, and cookies, all of those. So then there is the complex carbs, which is the good guys. So there are two types of that: the polysaccharides, which are the complex carbs with 3 to 10 subunits of sugar. Polysaccharides have 10 or more subunits linked together. So those foods are like your sweet potato, a little bit there, banana, your rolled oats, whole wheat breads, quinoa, all of those. So try and move to that direction. And then fats, unhealthy fats are saturated fats. Sorry. Saturated and trans fat. So anything in the box with expiry dates from like months to years, clean food are not supposed to last that long. So you can find trans fat naturally in very, very itty bitty tiny amounts in dairy and meats. But what you really need to focus on here is the artificial trans fat. So these are placed in your foods to enhance the taste, trick us into leaning to buy more. It's addictive. It's not real food. These trans fat are made in the laboratory they're not from Earth. There was no care for your blood pressure or your heart when this was curated. There was only eyes on the money. So are we willing to risk our health for that? So that's something that you can answer. You just write that down for yourself. And, these journal prompts are something we avoid. When we are asked these questions, we're like, nope, we don't want to answer that because we're too scared. We know that what we're about to answer there is kind of scary. So write that down, write your little steps that you're going to take and start looking at labels. So train your brain and body to crave food from Earth, clean food. We're not made as robots. We actually have to care for our body. Growing up in the Philippines, we ate vegetables from my grandma's garden. We were taught to eat fresh fish because it was the cheapest like option we can have, you know. And then we didn't have fridge. I remember we didn't have a fridge at one point. We had to go down and walk to the little market and buy our food every time, like almost every day. And I thought we were like, oh, you know, poor kids. Why are we not going to, you know, those little food chains? Why are we not doing that? But no, my grandma has lived like an amazing life, and she was super happy and healthy and very active for her age. And that's because she ate from her garden. We only ate fresh fish. We had, if you were in Philippines, where we love seafood, we eat very less of chicken and meat, but there's a lot of seafood, a lot of vegetables. Some days you just eat vegetables. So monounsaturated fats and polyunsaturated fats are considered the good fats, which are the fats that is good for your heart and balances your cholesterol. Very important. So these foods are like your peanut butter, your avocados, olive oil, olives, pumpkin seeds. All of those are all good fats for you. So if you can have one of those every day, you are taking care of yourself. Okay, so important vitamins and minerals for women. So why do I specify this for women? We actually have to double this because when we have our period, we're losing even more vitamins. Our men's hormones are like this. And then ours is like, you know, it's crazy. It's everywhere. And we need to tend to make sure that if we eat properly, we have enough vitamins for the day, we have enough minerals, we're taking care of our health, we're sleeping well, stress levels are balanced, everything is balanced. You start to feel happier, healthier, lighter. You feel this love for yourself that's like, and you can't stop doing it. It becomes contagious. You just want to keep looking after yourself. Okay, so I'm going to go quickly through them really quick. So obviously, calcium is essential for bone health. There's a study that, but not only bone health, but also our nerves and also our muscles. So there's a study about this that I think it's between, I'll share a link of that later, but it's between, I think, 35 and above. We need to supplement for this because as you age, our bone density is a little bit harder to take care of. So if you eat kale, like three bunches of kale a day, then maybe you'll be fine, but you might be overdosing on vitamin K, but you need to balance everything out. So you can have, you know, like your kale, yogurt, and your collard greens. And then obviously vitamin D. There is a very limited sources of where you can get vitamin D food. So you will have to get this one from the sun or supplements. But the sun is your best choice there. Spend 50, I do 15 to 30 minutes. And if my kids feel like going for a walk with me, then that's like 45 minutes. But it's nice to get some sun because we spend so much time with blue rays we spend so much time with the light, which are all fake energy. They're not real, they don't exist. But the sun is the main provider of energy. And then you have folate, which is basically vitamin B. It's essential for health and for healthy red blood cells. So we know this, that for pregnant women, you need a little bit more of this. That's why they supplement you for vitamins with folate as well. So good sources are broccoli, red kidney, and cabbage. And then there's iron. If you are deficient in iron, you will start feeling really drowsy and sometimes fatigued and weak and tired. So you want to make sure you're getting enough iron in your daily intake. So this is like lentils, edamame, like edamame. I love edamame. And then also you can find a big source of that in red meat if you eat meat. But then this is also, you can take all of this in the daily women's vitamins as well. But don't only rely on vitamins, on those little tablets. Make sure you're supplying yourself with real vitamins as well. So B12 is another important vitamin that improves your red blood cells again. See how all of these are all connected, really. So this might be difficult for individuals who are vegan or vegetarian, as the vitamins are found in salmon, cheese, and a little bit, just a really itty bitty bits in bananas. Not so much, but yeah. So you can salmon. You will find fatty fish, and omega-3. You know that, and then it's good fats for you, and you know that it has a little bit of vitamin D there as well. So making sure that you balance your diet. All of these foods are just examples, but there's so many. Make it colorful. And then, of course, vitamin C, one of the most important, vitamins for energy, for our skin, for immune system, for our guts, for everything. So supporting your immune system, and definitely something you want to incorporate in your daily diet, like red peppers, oranges, and strawberries. So have them in the morning. Have them right away in the morning. We love our oranges in the morning. So what I do is I put 2-3 oranges in a blender, and then I throw in some ginger there, and then we put in some grapefruit if we want, and then some lemon as well, and we blend that, and then we have it as a booster drink, and that is like filled with tons of vitamin C. That's good for you to start the day. And then you have, of course, iodine. So this supports your thyroid hormones. Very, very important for us, and your metabolism. So another very important tool for healthy living, especially for us women. So foods like spinach, cabbage, cauliflower. These are food that you can add every day. When you're having your eggs in the morning, have it scrambled with spinach. Your smoothie, put spinach in there. Your smoothie, you can put frozen cauliflower in it. It's actually really good. And then, lastly, magnesium. This supports your heart health. It's very important. So foods like whole grains, tofu, pumpkins, and squash. Make sure you have a cup of that at least a day. Okay, so my favorite part is always talking about your gut. I just can't emphasize this more. Your gut is your command center of your body. So imagine your command center of your body. It receives all of the food into your body, and then it's sending signals to your pancreas. Hey, digest this one, or kidney, digest this. Do this, do that. It's always working. It's always moving, and then it's going to the stool. It's doing everything for you. Now, if you don't take care of that part, everything else starts falling off altogether. They all work together. And your gut is the connection between you and the outside world. So I'm not talking just food. I'm actually talking about everything else. So like your cleaning items as well. If you sniff that, that goes into your gut. Your gut gets that communication from you. If you don't spend enough time in the sun, and we're getting, like right now, example, like Blu-ray or fake lights and all of that, you're putting that into your body. Now you're telling your brain, it's like, hey, we're having some light here, and then your gut is like, what are you doing? We need some sun. So it's gonna send signals again to you, and then your brain and your hormones are gonna take it differently, and you're like, oh, I just need a boost of sugar, or I just need some coffee, and I'll be fine. I'll talk about coffee in a bit. So first is movement. So sweat a little. Get a sweat sesh. It doesn't have to be you lifting crazy weights, or you going to the gym for 2 hours, or you going to whatever. Just have a little quick sweat sesh. Go for a walk. Go walk a little faster for 10 minutes. Do a quick workout. Open up YouTube and say, hey, what's going on? Put some music on and dance. That's something that you love doing. And then we have probiotics. So these are made of yeast and bacteria. So the good bacteria, guys, is the probiotics. So by consuming a good amount of probiotics, you are supporting your gut for when the bad bacteria comes. So it's like It's like you're getting ready for a battle. It's like, you're feeding your soldiers in your body, like, hey, get ready, just in case an infection comes in, we're ready to kick that infection in the butt. So you can get this from tempeh, yogurt, fermented sauerkraut, kimchi, fermented pickles. Everything I say here is actually all related to your skin health. Everything is related, even your thyroid, your metabolism, all of this. And that's why gut is the main dude. And then prebiotics. So these are foods that promotes the microorganisms that are inside your intestines, the one that is actually inside your intestines. So foods like bananas, onions, garlic, artichoke are good examples for that. So you're taking care of your gut now. You're like, hey, we got this, any other infections that are going to come inside our body, we're all good. You don't have to overwork. When we're sleeping, we're going to rest because we've given you, we've given the gut all these nutrients that it's going to send to all the different organs in your body. So fiber helps regulate sugar. It actually doesn't digest in your body. So, but it's important for stool production. And there's a couple different insoluble fiber and then soluble fiber. Both of them are almost the same, but they both support the digestion for getting ready for stool. So that's why it's very important. So the USDA recommends 25 grams a day for women and then 38 grams a day for men. So I find that very little. And then if you check other countries, women are actually, they recommend 40 grams of fiber in other countries, like in Philippines as well. And so with my clients, with Genius clients, we always recommend having higher fiber because that supports your digestion. You're now telling your gut, okay, we've given you now so many food. Let us boost your digestion right now, and we're going to feed you with really good fiber, good sources of fiber. And then you're supposed to be having stool or going to the washroom, taking a poop. I don't know how else to say it to make it sound nice. You have to take a poop every day. Every day. If you're not taking a poop every day, don't go on a fat loss. You will fail. You will fail. You have to go to the washroom every single day. And it doesn't have to be every single day, but you're going almost every single day. We will touch base more on that, on sustainable fat loss. And then there is lowering your stress levels. So high stress level can cause your gut to slower digestion, but it can also lose appetite. And then when it loses appetite, again, your brain is getting a different signal because your brain is like, okay, what's going on? I don't understand this. I think you need energy. Okay, boom, sends to your ghrelin hormones back. And then you're going there and you're grabbing stuff that you're not supposed to be having to support your gut. So another fun fact, the thirst, when you're thirsty and when you're hungry, your brain actually sends that to one hormone. So you can actually confuse that. You will get confused. Your body will get confused. Your brain will get confused. You are confused. So when your brain signals, okay, I think you're hungry. So I'm just going to send that signal. And then you're going to go and attack her. You're going to go to the kitchen like, oh, I just need something quick. But really what it's telling you, we're actually thirsty. So just give yourself that permission to get in tune with your body. And then when you hear that rumbling in your tummy, you're like, oh, okay, one second, hold on. Let me just go get a glass of water. Maybe squeeze in some lemon in there, whatever you want to put in there, but just not sugar. And have that, drink that and wait for 10 minutes. Trust me, a lot of times you're actually not hungry. It's just that signal. It's just getting confused because we're not in tune with our body. we're not listening to our body. So then all the messages get confused. Communication. Communication is a big, big thing. So paraben-free, of course, always check the ingredients of your cleaning items, even your makeup, even your skincare. Educate yourself on stuff like that. And make sure you're not putting anything bad in your body. You don't want to suffer in future. Whatever you put inside, you're sniffing that cleaning item, cleaning, whatever you're using. You smell that every day. You're using Clorox. I see a lot here in the Middle East. A lot of people use Clorox every single day to clean the floor. And you're sniffing that, sniffing bleach. So that's also not good for your gut. And then, of course, sleep. I can't emphasize that anymore. Sleep. So next, don't let the weekend take over your health. Use the restaurant cheat sheet that we've sent to you. Make fun recipes. Example, no sugar ice cream. Make it fun. It doesn't have to be, okay, it's the weekend, breakfast, lunch, and dinner for, 2 days. Maybe start, Friday night all the way through to Sunday. It's my full weekend. I'm just going to go crazy on it. And then you're going to feel bad. And then that 5 days or 4.5 days that you nourish your body so well, and your gut is like, ooh, she is listening to us. We're good. Our skin is glowing. And then boom. And it takes, and then when you get back onto Monday, you're like, I'm just going to eat less. Then that's actually not the solution. You're now torturing your gut. And then, fun activities. Have some fun activities like hiking, swimming, walking, stay active, make it fun. Get in tune with your body. Remind yourself how you feel after you eat a healthy meal. I'm not saying to not eat, your comfort food. I'm just saying to balance that out. And know that if you eat another comfort food and you're relying now on that, you will start feeling bad for yourself. And then it turns into a habit. And then it turns into a long-term habit. And then all of a sudden, it's so hard to get rid of. Because now you're defending your emotions and the weekend on this type of food. Okay, self-care. Self-care, if you do that every single day and then do something special on the weekend, yeah. It'll change the way you you see your day. But I mean self-care. I don't mean self-care is not going to Burger King and ordering Big Mac or sorry, that's McDonald's. Yeah, the McDonald's and ordering a Big Mac, because that was me. I would say every single Friday, I would go and order McDonald's. I'll have my float. I'll have this. That's not self-care. So self-care is like go for a date with yourself if you can. If you have a time, just go by yourself. Read a book. If you're a mama, maybe sleep early on Friday night and then have like a morning for yourself. Or tell hubby, you gotta watch the kids for a couple hours because I need some time. Or spend time with your family, like do something fun together. Like whatever floats your boat. But it's gotta be something that's nourishing to you. That's self-care. Okay, so replace, don't remove. I think I've already mentioned that earlier. Yes, so do not remove bad habits. Replace it. Okay, so a good example here would be, mindful eating. You eat with your phone. So don't just like, from tomorrow, I am not going to use my phone for all of my meals. It's not going to be sustainable. It's going to be like 1 or 2 weeks you're doing it, and then you're like, oh, I'm going back. Do it slowly. Start from breakfast. And then when you're having your breakfast, replace that. You're not having your phone now. So if you have company at home, talk with them. Like have a nice chat with them. Like there's so much to talk about. Don't talk about the news. Don't talk about anything bad. Find something that is that's an energy in. Talk about, hey, what are we doing this weekend? I enjoyed this weekend. What are we going to do? So what are you going to do today? Talk to someone about self-care. Because while you're nourishing your body, and then you're telling, your spouse or, whoever is there with your kids, what are you going to do? So example, like the other day I told my kids, it's like, hey, you boys are going to be in school. Mommy is going to take a half day off because I'm going to go outside and, go have a swim by myself and, have my smoothies and just relax and listen to music. And when I say that and I'm eating as well, it's like I'm now building that relationship with the food, like memory connection. I was like, that's so fulfilling. I feel so satisfied. Trust me, it makes a big change. So replace habits, do not remove. Okay, so now we're going to talk about caffeine. So caffeine is a drug. So it stimulates your central nervous system. And caffeine can be found in, sports drinks, like Red Bull, or like sodas and chocolates, coffee, and green tea or tea. Who here loves a daily dose of caffeine? It's not a bad thing. Don't worry. You love caffeine. Ooh, nobody likes caffeine. Okay, awesome. So our brains maintain this constant neural activity when we're awake. As the nervous system or our nervous neurons fire up, we produce this molecule called adenosine. So at some point, you will hit a certain level of adenosine, and then you will crash. So, and the caffeine is the imposter of adenosine. So when you reach that level, and then you get tired, so you reach out for caffeine. Now, caffeine won't cure that symptom that you're trying to hide, which is maybe your stress level is so high, maybe your to-do list is like, too much, or maybe you haven't slept well. So it's not going to hide those symptoms. It's not going to, cure it. It's going to hide it. It's going to hide it. And then what it will do, it'll disguise as energy. That's what it does to your body. It doesn't actually cure it. You're not curing anything there. Most healthy adults can tolerate up to 300 to 400 milligrams of caffeine a day. So that is from a study, but I think this is still a lot. So 3 to 8 cups of 3 to 4, 8 ounces of cups of coffee a day. I still think that's a lot. So there are studies about some benefits, of course, which includes, promoting alertness, improving reactions, and reducing post-exercise muscle pain. So when I used to go to the gym like 7 times a week, and I was doing bodybuilding, I would always have coffee before and after. I don't do that anymore, but I used to do that because in my head, I know that after the workout, it helps me like relieve my muscle pain. And then while there are benefits to caffeine, there are actually also dangers and precautions to look out for, including dependency, addiction to caffeine, fertility issues, mood swings, increased anxiety, and escalated sugar consumption. So if you're someone who wants to, break up with coffee, try to do something that brings energy into your body, like morning exercises. So start with morning exercises. Anything that brings in, start with it. Don't have your coffee, caffeine, journaling, but also keep track. Take your journal and write down how you feel. Are you feeling dizzy, or are you tending to now move to that? A lot of people that I've heard who has stopped doing, who wanted to stop caffeine, unfortunately starts leading to smoking because they just wanted because it's addicting. They wanted something else. So do it slowly. Always do it slow. Don't go drastically and change everything in your life. Small baby steps leads to success. Always. Okay, so I think this is almost our last one. Yes. So food swaps, quick food swaps here for you guys. So French fries, sweet potatoes, nachos in cheese dip. Make your own guacamole. I mean, we can, I feel like everyone have their like different ways of making their guacamole. I have my friends who make it so differently. So try that. Make something different. Make it tasty. Make it yours. Make it yours. So milkshakes, instead of having milkshakes, have a smoothie. Instead of cereal, have oatmeal. Instead of white bread, whole wheat bread or whole grain bread. Instead of butter, have avocado. So if you love your butter, pause that and take your whole wheat toast and then put avocado there instead of butter. Put your egg on top there. Put some, tomatoes. All that's so simple and enjoyable. Just train yourself, but slowly. Don't go crazy. So thank you for listening, and I'm going to stop the sharing so we can have a quick chat about what's your biggest takeaway. Okay, so what is your favorite part there? What do you want to share? What's your biggest takeaway?
Or what's one thing you could implement even, right? Like right after this, there's so many great things Naz says that you can implement.
What can you start? I know that was a lot, right? You
I'm going to implement the no phone at the table. That's a good one.
That's a really good one.
Yeah, mindless eating is, I see that all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Such a good one. And then start slow, right? Like Naz said.
Yeah.
Maybe start
Yes.
with the top, the bottom. I mean, dinner, right? To
Yeah, even in my place, it's the same story. But I'm less on the phone. But I come home quite late from work, and then my kids already have eaten. Most of them, they eat their stuff. I can't motivate them to eat super healthy. They say, "Oh, we're young and we can eat the French fries and we can eat the chicken wings and all that stuff." I say, "No, I'm sorry, I cannot eat this." And I'm trying to implement some healthy food, of course, but sometimes when I'm late or something, from time to time they eat theirs. Most of the time it ends up like this when I'm late from work, that I eat by myself, and the temptation is so big to just snuggle up on my couch and take my plate and eat and watch the TV. So yeah, since I started this challenge now, I really consciously sit at the eating table and I don't put on the TV and I just really look onto my plate, and it's good, really. It feels better, it's really true. When we were kids, we were taught to eat on the table, and when you get adult and you're by yourself, you start doing all those bad habits which you try to avoid to allow to your kids. In the end, we sit there with the age going almost towards 60 and we start getting bad habits. So it's a good idea we know all this, it's not like we don't know, but you're getting lazy, you're getting tired, you're getting into a habit. It's mostly a habit. It's not sort of like you want to go against something. It's just a daily habit and you don't start thinking about it anymore. So I think it's good for everyone to keep on doing such a challenge. I hope you find more customers in the future which you can refresh their memory of all this stuff, because it's really good to hear it, even though you know it. I'm really trying always to be aware about my health since quite a few years, but you sort of keep just like, I don't know how to say it in English. My English is not my mother tongue, but it's you just hang on to daily life and you keep forgetting. But it's a very good. You really make it very clear, Nasra. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Yeah, it's really getting you back on the track, and that's very good. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, for sure.
One thing
we started that was like
one thing that I know when I was younger and my kids were at home, you were busy, you're going, and so you ate quickly to get them to the next soccer practice or hockey game or basketball or volleyball or whatever the kids were involved in. And so now I still eat fast because that's become a habit. And so, now I need to be more mindful, the same as not having the phone at the table, and think about and eat more slowly so that you really know when you are full, instead of always, thinking, oh my God, that meal is gone already, and I think I still need to eat. So but so that's a bit of training yourself to slow down, go back to not thinking you have to rush to something else.
Yes, exactly. But maybe don't eat as slow as me. I know you know how slow I am.
I know.
So like for me, especially when there's people over, it takes like an hour and 15 minutes. That's what I found for me to finish a meal, my plate. And everyone's like on their desserts, cleaned up the table. So when we would go out, my girlfriends would call the waiter and it's like, can you just get her order now? Just take and she's skipping appetizer. I've always just been slow eater.
I like to just to say one more thing short. Nasra, which I like a lot, is the scale about where there's written spirituality, And I feel that we are in our lifestyle nowadays, we are just running after materialism, and spirituality is very much aside. I'm sure it's in the States or even in Oman. I mean, even in any country nowadays, people are rushing for the money and quickly, hurry your kids, no time to eat. I mean, I caught myself all those years running with my sandwich through town in the lunch break, This is what we did, yeah. So when spirituality doesn't mean only to be religious and to run to the church or to go to the mosque or whatever, but also really in this point, I like it because it brings you back and away from the rush, brings you back to your plate with the mind, like you say, mindful eating, that you learn to appreciate this again. And I like that point a lot, where I say it's really true. We are just running after so many things in life, and we forget actually that the most essential thing, this pyramid we have in life, what comes first, what comes next. And the first thing is the food, actually. If we don't have the food, we will die, right? But we don't even think about it. And this is a good point about getting back down away from hectic life, which we actually is a lifestyle nowadays all over the world, unfortunately.
And I wanted to add that it's so good that we choose a meal, because food is associated with so many different things, right? Not just to fuel our body, but also associated with just like bonding with your family, celebrations, all these different things.
Yeah.
And slowing down allows us to really enjoy and take advantage of it. And then also decreases burnout, right? And like you said, it's the go mentality and the lifestyle that we're all guilty of doing. And it's these meals that really ground us and take us back. It's like that reminder, like, okay, this is my time to eat.
Yeah.
Exactly. And that could be your, eating as well, even if you're yourself, when you have that chance to eat by yourself, that could be also counted as your meditation. That's the time where you empty the noise in your head. Empty it. Just like, I'm going to enjoy this meal by myself, and empty all those fears and everything, and then enjoy that meal. You're now making good memories with that meal. You're now building good relationship with all of these amazing food, and it makes such a big difference. I noticed that whenever we go out now, like the way I remember I used to order. I love journaling. Like since I was little, like I remember because my mom was in Oman and I was in Philippines, so I was always writing her a letter every single day in a notebook so that when she comes, she can read it. So since then, I've always loved journaling. So I would journal, like I ordered this food, and I ordered like this apple pie, but before that, I had like a huge bowl of rice and lamb chops, and all of this, and then next time I would go in and I'm like, okay, I remember how that made me feel because I wrote it down. It's not knotted in your head with all of these other things that you have to do because you wrote it down. And then go back to that same restaurant and be like, that didn't make me feel good. I want to feel good leaving here. I don't want to feel like crap. So then I started ordering, I would still have my apple pie at the end. Well, not now. But I still have my apple pie, but I'm not going to order that big bowl of, like rice and lamb chops and all of that. I'm now going to balance that out. And then I leave there, not bloated. I'm not stressing about it. I was very mindful eating. So if I go on a date with my husband, which we do normally on Tuesdays, it takes me like literally an hour to finish my meal. I really enjoyed that. And now I'm building like good relationship with the food there because, I'm having a date with my husband. We're talking about good things. And then when you have that moment, like happy moments, even by yourself, pick the good food. Your brain will just start connecting with that and take time. When you eat, when you grab your fork, your spoon, your chopsticks, whatever it is, when you put it in your mouth, drop the utensils and don't touch it. Put your hands together like that or something else, but drop that fork, drop spoon, drop everything. It helps. Until you finish chewing, then you can go and grab the utensils again. It helps. That is as well.
And for many people, I think it's also the eating habit is like quantity, but not quality. And this is something which personally, I'm not the person who eats a lot. I cannot eat the full meal. Like if I go for dinner somewhere, I cannot finish it. Others, they eat it up easily, but I cannot. I'm full with half already. So, and still I gain weight, So maybe it's mostly the sugar, wheat, industrial wheat thing, and the cookies in between and the fast food in between, which fast food, not like McDonald's food, but the quick sandwich while walking to work and stuff like this. Yeah?
It's very hard temptation to because I remember when we were in Germany, everything tastes good. I was like, I want that and I want that. It's hard,
but also, I have a boss, he's very conscious about eating and he's really slim. And his wife, she's having sugar, not the type when you are overeating and you're fat, so rather the type which you are having by genetically, I don't know what you call it, as type A and type B. And he's very conscious on eating. And through him also, I more and more become more aware about these things. And I lost my thread now, what I wanted to say. I lost it, sorry.
Okay.
That's something I wanted to say, which I wanted to, but now I lost it. Okay. Then it wasn't important. Sorry.
No worries. Amazing.
Anyway.
That's a big takeaway here is the mindful eating, which is a very, very big thing. That's where you're supposed to start. And then you build your way through. Everything else, everything that was in this presentation today, that's all related to everything in your body. That's like your gut, your skin health, your thyroid health, your all of our female hormones and all of our our physical health, our spiritual health, our everything. That's all related. If you eat mindfully, everything will just start flowing. Because when you eat mindfully, you actually pay attention. And when you're eating and you empty that mind, you're like, okay, I'm really tired today. I did not sleep well yesterday. Now you're like, okay, setting intentions in your head. You're like, okay, today I'm going to take a rest. So then tomorrow I'll feel better.
Oh, now I remember what I wanted to say. I wanted to ask you because I heard this before, like about conscious eating and my boss and all that stuff. And the plates in Germany, you know what it's like? I mean, you have been there, right? You will have 3 big knödel, 3 big potato balls, and then you have a big chunk of meat and a lot of sauce and then a little bit of sauerkraut. This is a traditional food only. But if you, in general, when you go for dinner, it's like a lot of carbohydrates, potatoes, noodles, a lot of meat and very little vegetable. So actually, yeah, but I think it's everywhere. If you go to Oman or any other country, it's very much the same. So actually, I heard that it's a good idea to have 70% vegetables, salads, 20% of carbohydrates like potatoes or the noodles, stuff like this, and only 10% or maybe 15% meat. This kind of what do you call it, equality, or this kind of balance on the plate. Whatever you eat, then you'll be fine. But go in Germany somewhere for dinner, you'll never get that.
Yeah, I remember that when we ordered, I think it was pork knuckle. We ordered pork knuckle, and then we decided, I'm like, okay, cool. We're ordering. That was our first day in Munich, and then, we met in Munich.
Yeah, we had this. We went together to that garden. I remember.
Yeah.
Where we had that big beer, 1 liter.
And then the food comes, and I'm like, okay, that's it. Where's the they're like, that's your salad, the sauerkraut. Okay.
Yeah, but I think at those days you didn't mind. Or how many years are you living like this, like you're living now? How many years you are practicing this?
4.
Okay.
Before that, I was doing that bodybuilding way and eating chicken breast, broccoli, and counting every single gram. That was that time.
Okay. Was?
Wie schaut es mit der Tasche aus?
Ja, hol ich dir aus dem Keller nachher.
Is that another?
No, that's Tainam. You know, Tainam, he's traveling to Denmark tomorrow for a birthday party to visit with friends together. He's flying to Copenhagen tomorrow. So he's asking me for the bag. He wants to pack up.
Okay. Thank you, ladies. If you have any questions about this one, the cheat sheet for the restaurant that we put together, it's in your app, and then all you have to do is go to resource. When you go to the tab of resource, you will see 21 days sugar detox handouts, and then you will find it there. So you can read through that if you're going out. There's a couple of food swaps there as well, just to support you in your during your challenge.
I'm also going to be putting the recording on the group, and you can find it under guides tab. So you can go back in, and if you want to hear this again as another reminder, feel free to do that. Or in case people are watching the replay, they want to watch it again and again.
Awesome. Okay, ladies.
Okay.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye, everyone.
Bye-bye.